Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 16th to the 31st, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, just a warning of any scammers pretending to be me or any other reader contacting you, asking you for, for money, for a reading, for whatever. Just be very mindful. They're very tricky. All right, now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into the safe and loving space. So first, let's see here, Aquarius, what energy we have to be mindful of. Aquarius. We'll see here, Aries, what energy we have to be mindful of, and that's a slip right there, that's spirit praying. So Aquarius energy could be something that we have to be mindful of during this time, a person that we're interacting with. Okay? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is Taurus energy. So this is the Hierophant, all right? So the High Priest in this deck. But this is also a sense of, I just see this as I'm taking on everything, okay? That's so funny. So Spirit is showing me, you're the Emperor, right? Here's the Hierophant. It's the very strong masculine energies in the tarot, right? The other one could be the Magician as well. But there's just this real sense of very strong masculine energy. I can handle this. I can do this. This is what needs to be done. We might need to be mindful of this sort of person, but I actually see this as an energy that we're taking on, or an energy that's very, very much a guiding force for us during this time, somebody whose voice can overpower our own voice. But there's also a sense of, it's almost like duty and responsibility outweighing everything else. I will never tell you that duty and responsibility are wrong, but you have to make sure that things are balanced, because you have to be very mindful of how much you're putting on your plate and how often you're doing it, because it can really stress you out. So just be very aware of that during this time. I see it as something very, very personal, very much around, just kind of, it's very masculine energy. It's just very kind of like charge forward type of thing. So just be aware of this. Let's see our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Earth Mother. This is the Earth Star Chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. And this is just a sense of, I need to connect with the earth. I also need to connect with why I'm here and my purpose. We could be getting very philosophical, with the energy around us, but there is also a sense of, I need to be grounded, going for walks, being outside, being in the sunlight, or even just by a window if we can't be in the sunlight. That's really going to help ground and center us. But also to understand that our feminine nature, because it's Mother Earth, right? So the feminine nature is coming forward. It's not letting everything pass. It's not taking on all the responsibility. Remember, nature is nurturing, but Mother Nature is also tidal waves and hurricanes and blizzards. So there's also a fierceness here, and we have to balance both the fierceness and the compassion during this time. That's just going to be very important to us. It's going to make us feel the best possible. So let's see what our tarot energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay. Okay, so it's really funny. The first thing that comes forward is that there can be a romance blossoming, or just a real sense of wanting love, wanting enjoyment, wanting to go out, wanting to, express yourself and your being, and embrace the world. There's just such a strong sense of that coming forward. There is something here where you see how fragile things are. This is the devil energy, the Capricorn energy, but I also see this as being very rooted to the earth, okay? There is a sense that we see where we're being manipulated. We see where we're being, kind of powered by somebody else's desires, or a goal that isn't our own. Okay, that's very much coming forward. It's kind of like we're proving something to someone, and Spirit is saying you don't have anything to prove to anyone. There's also a sense of what you thought was the goal. Okay, that has really started to change, and it's like no, that isn't the goal anymore. It isn't gold. It's gilded, and you scratch it, it's rotted underneath. And that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like you scratch the surface of certain things and you're like, well, that's not what I expected it to be. And it's almost like you're walking away from the puppet strings. I'm just very much seeing, that scene in Pinocchio where Pinocchio is, the puppet is dancing, and then Pinocchio is like, I don't need any strings. And he walks and he does his dance all by himself. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of like, I don't need any strings, but I also don't need the script, and I don't need anybody to impress, and I don't need to have that audience. So there's a real sense of, I'm taking back my power. What you're offering, I'm not taking. So there's a real sense here of somebody really trying to make something very alluring to you, or say like, oh, you should be doing it like this. Or just even like, it's very interesting energy, because it's almost like what society tells us. It's like the way that we were raised, like, or commercials, like, this is what you should want. And there's something here where it's like, no, it's not though. It's not though. And I'm tired. And I'm haggard, and I'm overwhelmed trying to live up to other people's expectations. And I'm not going to do it. And it moves us to the Four of Cups. There's something here where there's a moment during this time, and something has happened or is happening. Okay? And it's going to be very intense, but it has us looking at things very, very differently. It's a gift. It comes in, but it knocks you off your feet, Aries. It takes your breath away. It overpowers you. It has you looking at things like, oh, well, I didn't realize that. Like, I didn't see that. And it's a gift. But at the moment that it happens, it just doesn't feel like a gift. So just be very mindful of this. But it's taking you out of the path that you were on. It's taking you off the path that you were on. And it's taking you into another way of seeing things. I also see there's somebody connecting with you, okay? Oh, interesting. Okay, Aries. There's somebody who's connecting with you. I don't know if they're a Capricorn, okay? Or if there's somebody who's just like very pragmatic when they were alive, all right? This is somebody who has passed. And this is the person saying, why are you looking at that? Like, why are you so busy looking over here? Look over here, all right? And so this person is going to make you look at things. Like, you're going to trip while you're walking, so you have to slow down. Or you're going to be looking at something, and it's just going to be pulling you in. Like, I'm just seeing this like a shop window or something like that, and you're going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should go into that store, or maybe I should look at this. It doesn't mean you have to buy anything. It just means that something's going to be there where you kind of laugh, and it's like, oh, that was a message from this person, or that was something they would have liked, or that was something they would have worn, or that was the smell that they had. Like, even the smell of the shop, or the smell of leather. It's very masculine coming forward. It's like more, yeah, it's more of a masculine, like leather, musk, like just a smell of somebody who very liked the quality of things, and who would always look at the quality of it. And even if they could never afford it, and you knew, it was funny because they're kind of like, it was a bit of a, like, somebody would make a joke of it. It's like, how would you know the quality of it? You couldn't buy it, but they did. So just know that they're trying to pull you towards that direction, and it's angels, it's your angels, it's divinity. But it's also this one person very much who has passed forward, who is pulling you towards this. There's a need to celebrate. You've been taking things too seriously. And there's a real need here to celebrate the wins. Now, it might not feel like there are a lot of wins right now, and they completely understand, but they're like, times get hard. And the way that you get through the hard times is to remember the joy. Like, put on the music, dance. That's what they're saying to you. Like, put on the music, dance, celebrate. It's time to have that joy. It's time to have that beauty. Because you can get so caught up, and they themselves had gotten so caught up in other people's drama, like other people's expectations, they don't want that for you. There's just a very strong sense of celebrate, be yourself. You know, a wish is coming true. It could be a very small wish, but a wish is coming true, and it's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. The King of Cups, okay, that's that strong masculine energy, again, coming forward. Water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, coming forward very powerfully here. The King of Cups is very much a sense of the heart, of what we love, of our joy, of our connection. There is a sense of, I need to lead by example. And again, the energy that's coming forward, now it comes forward as masculine. This could be a female or however they identified, but they just have very masculine energy to them. Again, quality of things. I don't know why they're showing me like tightening the stirrups, but also like a strap, like on a bag, on a belt. It's something here. It's leather. It's something that can be tightened, like on a belt, but it's not necessarily a belt. So I don't know exactly what that means. But the King of Cups right here is lead by the heart. They're going to tell you that the most important thing is your heart. The most important thing is what you love, is yourself coming forward. And there's a real sense of, you need to embrace what you love. You need to embrace the calmer side of things. Being an Aries, you know, the god of war, there's a fire, there's a passion, there's a determination to an Aries. And they're like, that's great. That's great. Embrace it. But also embrace what you love. Also embrace your heart and your soul and your passion and yourself. There's just a sense of calm. So I'm seeing here, and okay, they're the Malabees. I was like, they just keep on saying Malabees. I never even noticed this on his necklace, the fish, also another religious sign, right? But there's a sense of meditation, however you meditate, through a repeat of a chanting to keep yourself calm, to keep yourself centered. That's going to be really important for you during this time. It's kind of like take away all the chaos and lead forward. The world has so many distractions for you to be pushed around by. It's kind of like the waves come over. Emotions can drown us. The King of Cups says, no, I'm moving forward in what I need, in what I love. And that's going to be so important for us. There's also a sense here of something more opening up. Oh, interesting. Okay. So toes in water. I don't know if you used to like jump in puddles with this person or go to the beach and they used to put their toes in the water, or you could have swum with them, or you could have been swimming and they would put their feet in the water. They're like, no, I'm not going to get it. Thank you very much. I'm not doing this. They weren't, it's like they weren't going to do, it's either they weren't big swimmers or they weren't going to do the adventurous things that you were doing, but they were going to watch you. They're very proud. This person has a tremendous heart. They want you to open up your heart. And it's not being taken advantage of. It's not, being manipulated by any other person. It's saying your sensitivity and your love and your connection, that's not a weakness. That's a beautiful, beautiful gift. Remember that. It crowns you. The King of Cups, he's crowned, but he's a king that not everybody notices. All right? And they're saying that's okay. Everybody doesn't need to notice you. You don't have to be the most popular person in the room. And they want you to know that. Okay? That's a very important message coming forward. With the Knight of Wands, there's a fire, there's a passion, there's a brilliance here that needs to be embraced, right? We're represented by the wands in the minor arcana. And there's just a fire that is shining. There's just a brilliance that is a part of you. And this needs to move forward. This needs to be expanded and understood and just opened up in a way that it's like, let the fire out, let the passion out. You have been so reserved, or you have been so focused on your goals. The fire has died. And it's almost like the color in the world has grayed. Now it's time to let that color come forward. You're a warrior. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of power to you during this time period. Embrace it. Because it's going to be so easy to overlook it, to let it kind of fizzle out, because we have other things that we need to look at. What Spirit is saying here and what you're being told is that you need to embrace this fire and you need to move forward. But you also have to make sure that you're not moving forward in such a sense of energy for the sake of energy, like movement for the sake of movement, that you forget what needs to be done. Like, it's just like, okay, I just need to move, I just need to go, that you sacrifice what's really important to you, or you're not looking at the bigger picture of what you really need. So just be mindful of this, that you can get kind of caught up in the movement of it. It's like, it's moving, it must be good, but it's not going to be exactly what you need. So just be mindful that you need that movement forward, but you're also going to have a tendency to be like, any projection forward, any way forward is good, but think it through, because the Knight of Wands can be a little bit hot-headed, a little bit impetuous, a little bit like overly like a little bit overly, I'm just seeing like a strutting, like that sense of, like they're just showing me young guys, like, how teenage guys, when they walk, like, they kind of strut, and that's what I'm seeing here. You want to be very, very mindful of that. Or there's an energy here where it's like, don't make that mistake that you had before when, it was almost like you were untouchable. The Fool, you need an adventure. You just need an adventure. There's also something opening up. The heart is opening up. The emotions are opening up. The passion is opening up. And there's a sense here of dare to be foolish. There really is the sense of, are you really going to care that much what everybody thinks about you, how everybody looks at you, what everybody sees about you? Are you going to make up the narrative in your own head of what they're saying? Or, listen to other people's rules? Or are you going to say, this is what I need to be? Now, Spirit is very much, saying live with respect, live with, kindness and dignity and compassion. But do not let the rules of what our society thinks, like, okay, that's the way you're supposed to be, or this is what's respectable, and this is what you need to do, overshadow what you need for your heart, what you need for yourself. The heart, the emotions, it's so important. It's like, let yourself shine. With the Fool, it's overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming to sit there and say, I'm going to take that leap of faith. I'm going to jump. I'm going to go after what I need, what I want, who I am. Because there's a sense of, I've upheld my responsibilities, or I've looked at responsibilities, or I've looked at the way they want me to be responsible, and it's not working for me. It's not working. Now, this doesn't mean that we quit our job and join the circus. I mean, if you really want to, go for it, and you can, uphold your responsibilities that way. But it means that you have to look at what you really want. You have to look at who you truly are. Because there's something that you've been fighting, that the real question is, why it's a gift? Like, why are you fighting this? This is a gift. And you just have to see it as it. There's something that makes you different. There's something that makes you stand out. There's something that, you're not necessarily 100% comfortable with. But it's your gift. Okay? And then we have the Two of Cups. This is the Minor Arcana Lover's card. You have the Lover's card right next to it. This is love. This is compassion. This is beauty. This is brilliance coming to you, like fire and ice and just, it's all coming together. And there's just a sense of, it conflicts, but it also complements. It's kind of like being outside. Okay, the energy that I'm getting here is being outside on a really, really, really cold, cold day. And you're all bundled up. You're nice and warm, but the cold still hits your face, right? You can still feel it. It's still super cold, but the sun is out and it's beautiful. And there's something here with, there's a healing, there's a beauty, there's a connection. And it's intertwining with you. And it's kind of shocking. It's something that feels like, it really does feel like getting cold water, thrown over you. But there's this warmth that protects you. It's like, you're still safe. So you need to know that. It's like, you're still safe as you embrace what you love. And it can't even be that love is something that is just like, can I do this? And Spirit's saying, why not? Why not? There's a healing coming forward too that shocks you. And you needed this healing. You needed to see this, to see what's truly important. And then we have the Lovers. This is Gemini energy. So there's a duality here. There's a part of you that's going to be like, well, we should be doing this. And then the other part of you is going to be like, well, we should be doing that. So there's going to be a bit of that energy, or it can be in another person, where you find this person adorably exasperating. Okay. For some of you, you don't find the adorable is a bit harsh. Like, they're not adorable. They can be a bit harsh at times. But there's some sort of love here. There's some sort of connection. There's some sort of heart, brilliance, okay, that is leading you forward. With this Lover's energy, it's like, what do you love? What do you need? There's almost a sense also, do you dare? Do you dare to love? It's like, do you dare to heal? Because it takes you kind of jumping off that cliff. It takes you daring it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, it starts off with you being this warrior, with you saying, well, I have to do this. Like, I'm not going to be held on strings, I'm not going to be that puppet anymore. So the fire and the brilliance and the tenacity comes forward, and there's the jump. But you have to make sure, again, that you're just not running for the sake of running, like with nowhere in particular. No, that's wrong. So running for the sake of running is fine. But the sense of, I'll show you, that's something you have to be mindful of. Because if you're led by that energy, that's the energy. Okay, that's like the line that we're seeing here. That's what Spirit was trying to warn me about before. And Spirit always shows me images. So sometimes it's hard to put it together exactly correctly. And what it is here is like, if you're running in that line, if you're running in that energy of like, I'm just going to do this to show you all, it's not going to work well for you. What you have to do is say, I need to do this for me. It's embracing what I love, what I want. And if it so happens to coincide with like, I'll show you, but you shouldn't even be thinking of that negative energy, of those people, of those ones that won't connect with you. Because you caring about what they think is going to pull you down. And I don't know how exactly you get to that point of, I don't care what you think, but there's some sort of switch that is flipped, all right? Where it's like, I've cared for so long, this isn't it anymore, all right? There's a healing and there's love coming forward. There's almost like there's a healing around love. Like, I've been afraid to love, I've been afraid to open my heart. And it's not just with a romantic partner. It's like going after doing what you want to do in work, or doing what you want to do for your hobby, or just, being brave and living out loud and being, this vibrant, beautiful, tenacious person. There's been a fear around that. And now it's like, excuse my language, but it's like, screw this. I have to do it. I have to do it. And this person that's coming forward, there's a sense of they held back. I want to say that they didn't live as out loud as they wanted to. Either it's almost like in their time they couldn't, like there was something that stopped them, or there's something that stopped them. I don't know if it was like the time period they were born into, or their age, or what it was, or they didn't find this thing until they felt like they were too old for it or something here, or they were too young for it, and it didn't come to pass. But there's something here where like, I couldn't do it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare fall into that trap. Okay? The subconscious energy to be mindful of, 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands. You're battered and bruised. Like, you've been through a lot. Period. And stop. So just be mindful of this. The subconscious energy here is, we're going to have a tendency to want to take things on. It's like, this is what I have to do. These are my responsibilities. But we're going to take on so much that it feels like we're constantly fighting. And we just want to stop. But we also have to realize how strong we've been and look at the battles. Not as if, well, now I have 18 million more battles to go through. It's like, no, look how far I've come. I'm done with the fighting. Now it's time for the peace. Now it's time for the prosperity. Now it's time for the building. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I've told you one of my favorite sayings that I heard from one of my first bosses when I was a teenager. He said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and they usually spew shit. So again, pardon the language, but that made me roar. And I love it. So here, just remember that, because it's like, no, you're not going to do that to me. Now, with the chakra energy, we have the solar plexus chakra, personal power. There's power, there's tenacity, there's brilliance. There's a sense that you're stronger than you think you are. Again, you're represented by the god of war. So Aries, you are like fierceness personified. You just have to realize it. And there's also a sense of, I don't want to fight anymore. But realizing your power doesn't mean that you always have to be fighting. The god of war doesn't necessarily always have to be at war, right? He just has to be strong and powerful and stand in his power. And make it so that like nobody messes with him, because he stands in his power. And that's what we're doing now. So just be aware of this, that standing in our power doesn't mean that we have to be like fierce in our armor, but it means that we're standing in a confidence to ourselves, that it's like, you know what, you might not approve or you might not see it, but I know it and I'm empowered by it. So it moves us to our subconscious energy, tarot energy. And this is Pisces. So if you're born on the cusp with Pisces, okay, know that the Pisces energy comes through very powerfully. Now, Pisces energy represents a lot of change. It's also a major arcana card, right? The moon. So the moon represents a lot of change, and it's a major arcana card. So there's a sense here of a changing. Now, you will find that this full moon can really impact you. The buck moon, it's a super moon, so it's one of the closest moons to the earth. So here, everything is going to be magnified. There's a sense of change and power guiding us forward in a way that we hadn't thought it would. So during this time, there's also a sense of the energy, this duality that comes forward with the Gemini energy, right? With the lovers. That energy is carried over with the moon, because remember, Pisces is represented by the 2 fish. Gemini is represented by the twins. There's a duality that we need to balance, or we at least need to acknowledge, even if we're not ready to balance it yet. Okay? there is a sense of embracing what we love, of what we desire. There is a sense of not being afraid of change, because change is going to be an absolute part of our lives and of ourselves, and it's maybe not going to be what we want to have to deal with, but it's going to be what we have to deal with. And there's something here with embracing the power of our voice, embracing the power of what we need, of what we want, of what we're looking for. The subconscious and the conscious can be warring at times, can be kind of like in battle with each other. We have to acknowledge that. And there's also a sense of deep feelings. They're not bad. So again, with the King of Cups, the King of Cups, Pisces energy, right? And we have now Pisces coming forward here. So there's something here where like I need to embrace the deeper energy, the deeper emotions, the deeper feelings, or else I'm not going to be truly connecting to what I need, to what I want, to this time opening up to me. Okay. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. And may blessings and harmony always be with you.